Good morning. Today we keep working on our Sprite Editor, having fun with Golang in the terminal. Let's see, where did we leave off last time? If I was in the right window, it would be better. All right. So we have a canvas with a mini UI with our coordinates, our settings for the foreground, background, and which mode we are in. Our modes are currently like that canvas mode. We also have the foreground mode, which is 1. We have the background mode, which is 2. And we have the insert mode, which is 3, which allows us to do things like this. All right. That is not expected, so if I go to insert mode, I said hello. I leave the execution mode. No, okay, very good. We are good. Next, let's do what we are here for. So there are a few things missing. The first one is that when we are like in any mode really, and we move around, we cannot really click on it, and it can be a bit annoying, like to use the keyboard around and move all over just in order to set something. Same thing in our canvas. It would be nice to be able to move around using the mouse. Another issue in insert mode, actually, if we type, it works fine. However, if we use a special character, like for instance, one of those vertical bar, which may be quite useful, that does not work at all. There is nothing happening. Let's try one more. Nope. Let's see. Yep. That's actually a bit surprising, but can we actually copy paste text? We cannot. Interesting. Might need to fix that at some point, but we should be able to copy paste a single character. Let's copy paste the P. Yes. Okay, single character work. Now we want to be able to do that in UTF-8. That should not be too difficult. The issue is, actually I did that off screen. Let's forget about this, and we can see that here in our edit mode, it's only if we have one character that we actually insert. So now we are going to do it a bit differently. We're just going to say that if the third byte is not escape. So that way, like, if the first byte is escape, it can be like a delete or like a arrow up or down or something like that. And if it is not escape, we consider it like a character. So instead of keeping track only of the first byte, this time, this is where UTF-8 comes handy. So that is part of the standard library. And we have a decode run, which takes byte array, a byte slice. So that is our buff. And what does it return? It returns our run and the size. We don't really care about the size, but we do care about the run. And if we display that and this, now it should be working as we expect. So let's see. We go back in insert mode. We are going to copy paste that vertical bar. And now it works. Awesome. If we leave the insert mode though, it still works. Foreground mode, go back, everything's fine. Can we save it and restore it? So S to save and R to restore. No, it was O to open. All right. So that works. That works. It was quite simple already. We added UTF-8 support. All right. Add support for UTF-8 characters. I wonder, since we basically remove that one limit, if we actually now can copy paste actual text. Yeah, no, not really. We may want to fix that at some point, but hey, it is a Sprite editor. It is not meant to to be a text editor, so we should be good for now. Next up is going to be the mouse support. So that is actually going to be a bit more tricky. So, what's going on? So, how are we going to do that? Well, we can go back to our reference. So that is the Xterm control sequence, which we are using since the beginning, like to play with the terminal. And here we can search for mouse. Mouse tracking, that looks pretty good. And it looks like we are going to have multiple modes. The X10, VT200, button event, and any event. That's interesting. Probably going to be that button event that is going to interest us, because we don't really care about tracking the cursor itself from the mouse, but we do care where it clicks. But how do we actually enable that? Is going to be a good question. Maybe enable mouse? No. Activate mouse? No. Let's go back just to mouse. Send mouse. Interesting. For the 9, and here are the modes that we were seeing earlier. So we have 1000. That's interesting. So PS at 1000 should do what we expect. So it's going to be a CSI question mark 1000H. Let's see. We can do that at the beginning. Printf, just print. So we said it was CSI. So CSI, again, it is escape, so /033, open bracket. So that is CSI, then question mark, then our number. So in our case, we are going to start with 1000, see what it does, and then H. And, well, because I'm not really actually sure how is that going to work and what we are doing. We do want to be in raw mode, that is for sure, but we're going to basically get rid of everything else. So as soon as we do this, we stop everything, and we're going to do another loop, and we're going to do going to do another loop. In its scope, so that way we don't need to worry about the namings. Okay, so we have this guy, F std in read still that, because it's important, and then we always need to truncate our buffer, so that way we don't need to worry about that. Alright, and what is going on? Yeah, I forgot to close that guy. And go to loop 1. And of course here we want to be able to print. So I do want to see how many bytes has been read. There's going to be n, and then basically what did we read. So there's going to be n and buff. And because we're in raw mode, it's going to be /r/n. And that is loop 1 like this. And if we go run, and of course, I make, again, a very bad mistake. I forgot to add a way to exit. But it's okay. So, yeah, Q, escape, Control C, nothing works. And, oh, when I click, awesome. Left click, right click, middle click. Awesome. So, like, that is left click down and release. We don't have like the hold on that mode though. That's fine, we don't really care. So left is 40, 43, 41, 43, 42, 43. So basically the release is always the same. If we compare this guy with this guy, yep. So the release is always the same. So now I need to kill the whole pane because I didn't add a way to exit. We can say that if n equal at 1 and then buff of 0 equal at q, then we return nil. That is quite important. Oops, I did this by mistake. Let's try again. Alright, so now when we click, we do have some reads, and actually that's why we used the 6, because this is what gives us. Now, it'd be interesting to actually get the actual coordinates. Can we see a difference between lines? Yes, it looks like that last byte gives us the y, and the byte before last gives us the x. What happens when we click in 0, 0, or 1, 1? It is 41, 41. That's a bit strange. Why would it be 41? How much is 41? I base equal at 8, 41. 33. That would make sense. Does it though? Do we have something equivalent in ASCII? It was 41 for either 1 or 0. Oops. Come on. What is going on? So 41, 33 is just exclamation mark. Yeah. Oh well. Whatever. I can deal with that. Let's see. We said the last byte is our y and the x is the byte before last, and we know we have 6. So now if we just want to print exactly where we clicked, and that is going to be the byte before last. Of course, here we want to make sure that if n equals at 6. So that is the last byte, and the byte before last is going to be 4, and we said we want to remove 33. And that probably should give us what we want. We actually don't really need that n anymore because we know it's going to be 6. Let's see. Okay, so this is 0, 0. That looks to work pretty well. Awesome. Now let's actually get rid of the actual display. We can keep this guy, so there's going to be new x, new y, like this. And we are going to actually move the cursor. So that way, like, we can have a bit of visualization to make sure that the click is spot on. If I remember correctly, that was how we reset the cursor position. And remember that the terminal is actually indexed on 1. So here it's actually minus 32 because we start in 1, 1. So if we do like new x and new y, let's try that. And now if I click, it should move our cursor exactly where we want. It does not. Maybe just a question of swapping rows and calls, because the terminal actually use like rows and calls, and I like to use x and y, but pretty much the same. And now when we click, exactly that. All right, that is pretty cool. So because like the boundaries is not really clear, sometimes like maybe you want to be right there, but I would say it's good enough. I find it like pretty cool actually. All right, so that was a pretty good experiment. Now we can get rid of it. That is actually going to be its own method, and we can create raw enable mouse. I'm just going to exit. Okay, so that is actually an issue. When I click after exiting, I still have a lot of mess. So basically we need to make sure that we disable it when we leave. But first we can enable it. Let's go back to our run. Where is that? That is the guy. And that is how we enable the mouse in raw. And raw disable mouse. And by mouse like click. Reporting. Just to be extra clear. And that is going to be probably something very similar. If we use the same convention as we saw last time, H is enabled, L is disabled, maybe. Not really convinced that it's going to work, but we can try. We can try. So when we start, we enable it. When we leave, we disable it. I'm going to do a reset to make sure that we are clear. And now we click around, we exit. And it actually worked. So H enables, L disables. We saw that convention last time. Not really sure what is the meaning behind this. Not really sure what is the meaning behind that 32. Hey, good enough. Now, how do we integrate that within the rest? So we want to have actually only a single loop. I'm going to get rid of this guy, temporarily. I'm still going to keep it here just for reference while we move it. And where is actually our loop? So this is our loop. This is our buff, awesome. And now we can keep this guy. And basically, regardless of which mode we are in, when we click, we want to do... let's start like this. Let's start like, regardless of the mode, when we click, we move the cursor. Later on, we can debate, like when we're like in the color picking mode, maybe when we click, we just want to exit the modes. When we're in canvas mode, maybe we don't want to be able to click outside of the size of the canvas. It's fine, it should be fine. So if n is 6, then we actually print that guy. That's the set cursor position, because now we're not in 0, 0 anymore. And of course, we want to update the canvas position. So pos x equal at new x, and pos y equal at new y. Actually, we could just have done that like this. Pos y would make more sense. And once we click, we don't want to do anything else, so we go back. And in this case, it is not a new variable. And oh yes, because it needs to be casted into an int. And of course, in our own internal x and y, we are 0, 0 indexed and not 1, 1. So we're going to do it like this here. Let's see. Oops. That didn't work. Uh-oh. That would be because I was on the wrong thing. Messed up with OBS, sorry about that. Let me get back to this guy. All right. Okay, so no, it does work. I was a bit scared here, but no, it works as we would almost expect. That is strange, but that might be because the term was a bit messed up, and also because it is smaller than our current size. So if we're here, and we click, it crash. That is a bit annoying. Oh, was just executing resets. That may be why you need to pay more attention. So here, when we click, it does not, because here, of course, it is +1. This is what I meant. We are 0, the terminal is 1. All right, so now when we click, we can click anywhere. And of course, we can still move the cursor. And if we are here, not really an issue per se, but now in that mode, if you remember earlier, we actually bounded the cursor to that grid. But now we can click anywhere, and it's going to basically mess up anything. So we can come back. Yes, we can manually come back, but now we are not at the right offset, and I'm not sure if that is still going to work. So if we space, oh, so it still works fine. All right, I like that. So now we have a mouse support. So enable, disable. Actually, we don't want to keep that. We enable it when we detect that it's there. We actually do something. Add mouse support. We say no. We can even get rid of that. All right. So now we have both UTF-8 and mouse support. How awesome is that? Next time, we are just going to clean up and refactor and actually trying to make maybe a product out of that. Because right now it is really just very, very messy, ugly, not maintainable, impossible to really iterate. So, yep. Next time, clean up. Thank you for watching. See you.